What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Richard Prophet Realty Group channel, and welcome to the beautiful state of Florida. I am in beautiful sunny Isles. Let me just give you a quick shot around. Look at that. Can you see that? Can you see that? Green, crystal clear green, beautiful water. Look at the skyline, the sunny Isles skyline. There's plenty room for your signature, family. There's plenty room if you want to come down and write your family's name in that skyline. There's plenty room for you. There's plenty room for me. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm out here to buy a new piece of property. I bought a one-way ticket. I flew out here. I'm gonna stay out here. I've been out here about 2 weeks now. I'm gonna stay out here until the business is done. They're telling me it's going to take anywhere from 4 to 5 weeks. So I'm going to stay out here. I got a closing date, but sometimes closings don't go exactly as planned. But we'll see. So I'm going to stay out here at least 4 weeks. This is about my second week. I'm going to stay out here at least 4 weeks. On the high end, 5 weeks, right? So, but hey, I'm not complaining. I am in beautiful sunny Isles, Florida, and I figured, today's topic, stealth wealth. So I figured, what better of a backdrop in beautiful sunny Isles, Florida. So I came out here, sat down, set up the camera, and getting ready to shoot. All right, so we're ready to go. So I flew down. You go in contract. How it works in Florida is you go into you see a piece of property you like. You go into contract. You give an initial deposit. So I found this property one day, and the next day I was out here. I was committed. I committed. I liked it. Felt right. I committed on it. I didn't want to lose it like the last two that I lost. So I came down the next day. Florida, how it works is, you get into contract for the property, you give your initial deposit, they give you 10 days to do your inspections, do your due diligence or whatever, and you can get out of it within that 10 days for any reason whatsoever. But if you want to go forward, you have to give the second deposit. So I gave the second deposit already. We're buying the property, we're going forward. But enough about me. We're talking watches, right? It's Sunday, so let's go. So today's topic, stealth wealth. What is it? What really is stealth wealth? I never really understood what stealth wealth is. Just, from guys on YouTube or whatever that I don't think they understand it either. They're just hearing what someone else said. Oh, white gold Rolex means stealth wealth. White gold Rolex means stealth wealth. Okay, but what really does it mean? So I, here on this channel, I give you my true life experience. I give you, and you, the family, you guys, part of the channel. You also give your true watch experience to me, and I enjoy it. I appreciate it. I share it with everybody else. So yeah, I never had experience with what stealth wealth was, but on my flight down, I really experienced stealth wealth, and I learned what it is. It just doesn't mean a white gold Rolex stealth wealth like some of these lame-os on on these other watch channels. So all right, so let's get into it. So I'm flying down to Florida. I'm flying to Miami on JetBlue, right? My preferred carrier on JetBlue. So I get my ticket, and I also pay an additional $57. You get the front seats. You don't have to walk all through with your stuff, your aisles. You're sitting I think it's like the first 4 rows or something, and they're a little wider. So you buy your ticket, and you pay an additional $57, and you get the better seats, right? So I have the window seat. I think I'm like in row 2 or something. I have the window seat. There's nobody in the middle, and an older white gentleman has the aisle seat, right? So I sit in my seat. Nobody's in the middle. Then this guy sits there, and lo and behold, he's wearing a watch. So of course I look at the watch. I look at his watch. He's got a Rolex on. It's just my luck. He's wearing a Rolex. I take a better look at it, and it's a white gold, gentleman size, 36 millimeter diamond dial, day-date president. You know, classic gentleman piece, beautiful piece. So I say, hey, nice watch, and he turns over to me and he goes, oh, hey, nice watch, you too. So of course we start, you know, we converse about watches. That's what I do, talk watches. So you know, whenever you see a Rolex in the wild and you talk to a guy, you say, hey, you know, nice watch or whatever, they always want to show you their watch. They want to talk about the watch. They want to do the watch pose with you. You want to, you know, put your watch side by side. You want to, you know, everybody always does the watch pose. Everybody loves to talk about their watch. Everybody, you know, loves Rolex, and it's a great accomplishment in a man's life. Every man deserves a Rolex. At some point in your life, and you know, people are proud. People love their watches. They want to talk watches, and you know, they want to show them off. Except this, an older gentleman, stealth wealth. I really learned what stealth wealth was on this flight. Now, I asked him, hey, you know, can let's do the watch pose. Can I put your watch on camera? You know, can I take a picture of you? He was like, you know, I'd rather not be on camera, you know, but we can talk watches, but I'd rather not be on camera. And I'm like, wow, this is the first time I've ever experienced somebody that didn't want to, you know, do the watch pose, show their watch off on camera. So, you know, we start talking, we converse, we chop it up. We're talking about watches, you know, and you know what's crazy? As I'm looking at it now, he really didn't give up much about himself. I mean, unless, you know, asked directly. Only when I asked him questions directly would he answer them, but he wasn't forthcoming with a lot of personal information about himself. I mean, he would tell me about his buddies and the watches like that his buddies were buying, but he wasn't very forthcoming about himself. I mean, unless asked directly, and let's ask the question directly. You know, he told me he's from New York, like me, and he's been flying back and forth to Florida, to Miami, actually to Hollywood, to be specific. He's been flying back and forth for once a month for the last 15 years, and you know, just to get away. And you know, I understood that. He asked me what was I doing here. I said, you know, I'm coming down for business. I'm buying a nice building in North Miami, nice size residential building. Yeah, and he was like, oh yeah, great. So we started, you know, conversing a little bit. And now thinking back, like I said, unless directly asked, but thinking back, he was kind of just like listening, and it was me really talking about myself, or it was me just talking and him really listening. Yeah, you know, so this is the kind of guy that wears a white gold Rolex, white gold day president, diamond dial, gentleman size. He's usually an older white guy, very quiet, you know, somewhat reserved, places cards, you know, close to the chest. Not too talkative, not too chatty-patty, you know. We'll talk to you, you know, friendly, but not like, you know, not like an introvert, you know, like an extrovert, not like, you know, not like a, hey, look at me, I got a Rolex on, yellow gold Rolex, look at me, I'm doing business, I'm in business. Let's do business, me and you, how can I help you, how can I help you? Let me make you some money. Not this kind of shouting, just kind of like, you know, laid back in the cut. So the kind of guy that brings a book to read on the plane, you know, the kind of guy that when the stewardess comes around selling drinks or selling snacks, he says, oh, no thank you, no thank you. He's just, you know, laying back in the cut. And is it that he didn't want a snack? He didn't want a drink? I'll tell you why. It's that information, right, is the most valuable commodity. So he had the information because he flies back and forth for so many years, he had more information than maybe like, you know, John Q. Public, somebody just flying, you know, once every 2-3 years or whatever. He knew, he had the information to wait for the right moment to jump, to pounce, to capitalize. It's just like, look at that helicopter tour passing overhead. So it's just like, you know, when certain IPOs come out, you know, John Q. Public is going to buy every IPO and think they're going to make money, but, you know, the educated investor will sit back and wait for the right IPO, you know, like a guy that bought Apple at $8 way back when and never sold it. The guy that owns the Colony Hotel on Ocean Drive in South Beach, you know, back then it was dump, a flea bag, you know, full of drug dealers, skells, whatever, prostitutes, and he didn't sell. He held it, and now it's worth, you know, several $1 million. It's, you know, it's a boutique hotel right on Ocean Drive for several $1 million. Yeah, a couple tourists. So, yeah, this is the kind of guy that wears a white gold Rolex. You know, the type of guy that might, whatever, the type of guy with more information probably than John Q. Public, you know. He wanted something to drink, yes. He wanted something to snack on, yes. That became obvious later because I'm gonna tell you what he did. Did he just jump on the first things that came his way? No. After the stewardess walked around with the initial drinks and snacks for sale, about 2 minutes later, she came around with complimentary chips, drinks, snacks, whatever. This gentleman in particular got the Terra chips and 2 bottles of water, and that was complimentary. Now, is it just cheap? A guy that wears a white gold Rolex, is it just cheap? I mean, really? I mean, a guy that flies back and forth once a month to Florida for the last 15 years, you know, has a place in New York, a place in Hollywood, is wearing, you know, a solid gold Rolex, white gold, 36 millimeter diamond dial. You know, of course he can afford a freaking, you know, Benzo box, $8 box of cheese and crackers. But no, that's not the point. The point is he, you know, was after value. He just didn't jump just because he could. You know, stealth wealth doesn't mean you do something just because you can. It kind of means that you have a little more information than the general public. Yeah, you have a little more information than the general public, and you kind of like laying back. You know, it's funny to see that happen. To see that happen in front of my eyes, it was just like it was like an old lion. You know, experienced, mature lion, just not running and just attacking all the wildebeest as they're running by, just waiting for the exact moment to pounce. You know, that's kind of like the feeling that I got. Yeah, seeing that in action was kind of humbling, actually. You know. I finally figured out, you know, since it happened to me, what was stealth wealth. Stealth wealth wasn't just some lame-o on YouTube screaming, "Oh, it's white gold, it's stealth wealth, stealth wealth," not knowing what the fuck it really means. You know, stealth wealth actually means, you know, you can afford it, you got it, but you kind of have a little more information than everybody else. Yeah. So I mean, you know, yeah. So that's it. That's what stealth wealth is. You know, we kind of became buddies during the 2 hours 45-minute trip. His name is John. I told him my name is Prophet, and yeah, we're gonna meet for drinks We're gonna meet for drinks, and you know, hopefully we can talk more about watches, and you know, who knows? Maybe do business. You know, this watch. You know, all three of my watches have brought me, you know, a ton of business. They've all paid for themselves many times over, and that's why I tell everybody, if you're in business, buy a Rolex. But yeah, so now I know what stealth wealth is, thanks to my buddy John, and at the end of the flight, he actually gave me a watch shot, so I'll include that at the end of this video. And I'm your host, Richard Prophet Realty Group channel. It's not Sunday night, but it's Sunday, and we're talking watches. Thanks for joining, family. You wanna check out the beach again? Let me show you. Beautiful sunny house. Jet ski there. Nice panoramic shot there. Whoa. My bag just flew away. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Come put your family name on that skyline.